Hey guys, I'm Layla. Welcome to Raid Lore Stories. Today's lore story is going to be for Mordecai. What an interesting looking champion. Honestly, I want to know what happened to him. Clearly, he was in some really bad accident or something. So let's check out his lore story together. For those members of the Sacred Order who dare defy its strictures, there are several means of exculpation. The most common is trial by combat. The accused must face a champion chosen by the Order with Lumea's blessing determining the victor. Many in the Order, however, find this to be an unsatisfactory method of punishment. They regard another method as more certain in regards to guilt and innocence. The trial, known as Lumea's Flame, consists of the accused being chained in place, slathered in boiling pitch, and set alight. As they burn, they are made to recite the 5 canticles of devotion. Those who complete the recitation, as their bodies engulfed in flames, are forgiven their sins and the fires are doused. That the accused barely survive is a small price to pay for certain their innocence, or so the Order claims. Those who survive the trial are forever marked by it, not just in body, but often in mind. Such scalding pain can break even the strongest will. In the centuries since the trial was first enacted, only one man has come out the other side of it with sanity intact. That man is Mordecai, the most infamous of the bearers of the flame, the servants of the Order who were chosen to administer the trial. Mordecai was once a humble preacher. His duties were minimal, largely confined to moral instruction and the collection of tithes from the local congregations. But Mordecai was also impious and greedy. He had joined the Order solely to escape the hangman's noose, and though he claimed to have mended his ways, in truth he had merely found new means of disguising his shenanigans. He schemed the tithes he collected and used his position to bully others so that none dared speak against him. But Mordecai was eventually undone by his own greed when his superiors discovered that he was selling merciful sentences. That a preacher had engaged in such flagrant and foolish corruption was regarded as intolerable, and Mordecai was immediately arrested. His request for a trial by combat was then denied when it was learned he'd attempted to bribe his accusers into letting him win. Instead, Mordecai was sentenced to face Lumea's Flame. Mordecai was chained and set alight even as he protested his innocence. But in the moment that the first spark caught and the first tongue of flame licked across his flesh, something changed in him. Mordecai recited the canticles hesitantly at first, for he only barely knew them, then with more confidence. The words filled his head and tumbled from his lips. As he spoke, the pain began to fade, and it was as if someone spoke through him, a presence more powerful than any he'd felt. It filled him, driving out all thought of the flames. The hotter the fire grew, the more serene he felt, as if it were eating away as myriad sins. Later, someone insisted that Mordecai had simply gone mad from pain. Others swore that Lume herself had bestowed her grace upon the burning man, showing that even the most sinful of her children could be redeemed through flame. All agreed, however, that when Mordecai finished his recitation, the fire was snuffed, as if by magic. Not even his accusers could deny that Mordecai was a changed man thereafter. Now, swathed in bandages and rendered mute by his agonies, he acts as a bearer of the flame and offers others the same chance at redemption he was given. Wow, okay guys, this was not the direction or the story I thought this would be. This was pretty dark, right? Like, they basically set up the Sacred Order. It reminds me of something like the witch trials, right? Remember how they used to burn women alive, accuse them of being witches? Like, it reminds me of something like that. So they set the Sacred Order like this. Then they talk about how Mordecai basically was like a dirty pastor, dirty preacher. And this is how he ended up with all these scars and these bandages. Again, not the story I was thinking. Guys, drop me a comment down below what you think for the lore story for Mordecai. And thanks for watching.